That's why you don't want me in your business. Why you don't want me in your family business. I see your point. Because it's kind of private. It's personal and private. And that's why you don't want me to blab it out and tell the whole world what Maddie does. I see your point. Okay. I know what she does with her exercise classes, her girls' night out, in church, every Sundays. It is kind of her business, and maybe you're right. It is not entirely up to me. It's up to Maddie to decide with that. I see your point, okay. Maybe that's why you don't want me bugging you about it too much. I see your point, sweetheart. All right, I'll lay off with it. And I promise I'm not going to tell the whole world about it. I'm not. But I am going to keep it to myself. Okay. I know that Maddie is a grown woman. She can do whatever she wants. I can't tell her what to do. That's true. She wants to do things her own way. She can do whatever she wants. It is her house. I can't boss her around over that. That's true. I mean, that's why you want me to back off. You want me to let her decide for herself without me telling her. That's right. You're right. She doesn't want nobody bossing her around when it comes to her business, what she does in her bedroom, what she does in the bathroom. That's true. Brushing teeth and putting her PJs on. She doesn't want nobody telling her about that. She doesn't want nobody telling her about her house habits. I do see her point. Okay. I understand that. And that's how I feel why I don't want you to bother me about my house habits. Okay. They're my house habits, not yours. Okay. If you don't want me doing that with Maddie, then I don't want you doing that with me. So it works both ways, okay? But if you don't want me telling your mother what to do, then I'll let her keep it in private. And then I won't get into her business, okay? If she doesn't want me to know about her business, then she should keep it to herself. Okay. If she has a problem with it, she should solve that on her own. I know that Maddie doesn't want to get told or get reminded. I don't blame her. That's true. And nobody doesn't like getting told what to do. And so do you. It's the same way. Well, what you do in your bedroom, that is your personal business. That's right. Your personal space. You don't want nobody barging into your room. I see why you don't trust Glenn onto your room, because he might go through your stuff. That's right. Yeah, I know you don't trust Angelo in your room either. It's because, well, you don't trust Angelo. It's because he might break stuff. Well, you're right about that. He's too young over a lot of stuff, but Nintendo Switch, for example, Nintendo Switch, he might destroy it. He's going to break it. I do see your point, sweetheart. So maybe that's why you don't want Angelo in your room. You have a point there, sweetheart. You're right about that. You're right. Now, once I get my Nintendo Switch, I can share with everybody when you guys come over, okay? And I like to share. But I share things with my nieces, but you don't do that with your nephew. And I know that he's too young for Nintendo, and I think you're right what you said, sweetheart. That's good that you don't mind your nephew that. That's good that you're telling him. Why he's not allowed to have a Nintendo Switch? Because he's too young for that stuff. It's too young for little kids. That's right. You don't have a point there, sweetheart. So maybe that's why you don't want Angelo going through your Nintendo Switch, because he might break it. Well, yeah, that's a good point, because that is breakable. It's very valuable. That's why you don't want your Matthew to touch anything in your room. Or like the DVDs. He might destroy your DVDs. Good point there, sweetheart. You're not the only one who's going to tell you, Matthew, that. I've been telling my nieces the same thing. You know, Oma Helen has to come in here to ask me for computer paper. I'd like her to ask before she asks me for computer paper, but she either ask her grandfather about it or her grandmother about that. Because my mother's also a grandmother. My mother has to tell them that too when they're here. And I bet my father tells the nieces the same thing. What happened with Oma Helen. She got in big trouble with the ice compactor. My father had to scold her for that. You gotta be careful with the ice compactor because all the ice can slip out and go all over the floor. I think my father has a point there, because you can easily drop the ice all over the floor and then it turns into a big mess. My father told me the same thing with the ice. It's okay to put ice in your cup, but it has to be, if you want to put water in it, it has to be in the sink, not in the dishwasher, because it takes forever just to come out. That's true. I do have a habit for moving things around. I don't keep things open. I have the tendency to keep things open. I don't close them up. That's one of my habits. I do have a tendency to put too much mustard in my sandwiches. I do that a lot too. I have to gotta be careful how much mustard I put in my sandwich. Like the macaroni salad. I'll go haywire with the macaroni salad because they put a lot of mayonnaise in it. Sometimes I can't eat that much mayonnaise because of my stomach. Yeah, I can't put too much relish in my hot dog. I have to put a little bit, but not too much. So I have to lay off on the sour cream because it has a lot of onion in it. That's why. But if I want to lose weight, it has to be small portions, not big portions.